Hi, my name is Saran, and my speech is about vegetarianism. My viewers are Kara, who's recording, Carrie, and Rachel. Okay, so it started off with the Greeks in the earliest of times in history, and it eventually found its way back to the United States in 1971. Vegetarianism, once called Pythagoras by the ancient Greeks, is a form of not eating any meat, fish, or poultry. In 1971, Frances Moore Lepps wrote a book called A Diet for the Small World. Her book started the rise of the vegetarian diet in the United States. It made people begin to think in a new perspective of their eating habits. After her book released, a series of chefs began adding vegetarian options on the menu. And in Tennessee, a group of hippies opened up a commune known as the Farm. Also, a little side note, many people associate the 60s with hippies and therefore assume vegetarianism became popular in the 60s, but it was very uncommon until the 70s and in the 80s. The author of A Diet for a Small World was aware that people of the time period also wrote also were very skeptical of taking meat out of their diet. So she decided to appeal to these individuals by using science. The increase in vegetarianism dramatically increased yet again in the 80s when a new book was released. And nowadays, it is one of the most common forms of diets rather than the normal carnivore one. Although in our current society there are much more vegetarians, many people still have a stigma about vegetarianism. Throughout the speech, my goal is to break that stigma and provide all the information necessary to do so. As I stated in the past, vegetarianism is a diet that consists of no meat, fish, and poultry. After the book by Lepins was published, the percentage of vegetarians in the United States was 1%. Today, it is at 13%. When the vegetarian diet was first established, many people associate that diet with the hippie community, so many of them took part in that diet. That stigma has been broken because many people realize all the benefits behind a vegetarian diet. But there are still many stigmas upheld in our society today. A specific stigma about vegetarianism is that individuals who follow that diet are extremely into animal rights. But there are so many more reasons why people become vegetarians. For instance, the Toronto Vegetarian Association states people will have a less likely chance to get diseases such as heart diseases, many types of cancers, diabetes, high blood pressure, stroke, food poisoning, and obesity. Vegetarians pass up flesh foods that are high in cholesterol and saturated fats and lacking in dietary fibers. Plant foods, on the other hand, contain antioxidants and a variety of phytochemicals that protect against diseases. Another study by the British Medical Journals found that people who follow a vegetarian diet also live longer. Vegetarians outlive meat eaters by 6 years. The health benefits are something that many individuals overlook. The lack of protein in the diet can be made up by substituting meat for many other types of protein-based foods and vitamin supplements. Okay, so another stigma about the vegetarian diet is that it is extremely expensive, but in reality, you can save more money than a meat-eating diet. In the Medical Daily, a study has shown that vegetarians save $750 annually. Evidence has shown that adhering to a so-called healthy diet costs $150 more per day compared to an unhealthy diet. Now, a recent study published in the Journal of Hunger and Environmental Nutrition found the USDA's My Plate 7-day meal ended up costing $53.11 each week, while the plant-based olive oil meal came out to $38.75 each week. The vegetarian meal plan also offered around 25 more servings of vegetables, 8 more servings of fruit, and 14 more servings of whole grain. By shopping economically, people adhering to a vegetarian diet can save $746 and $46 a year compared to meat eaters. The idea that being a vegetarian is more expensive than a meat-eating diet is a myth, and after many studies, it has proved otherwise. Okay, so last but not least, vegetarianism has so many perks and benefits for each individual's body and mind, but it has a very positive impact on the earth. The vegetarianism diet is a great way to protect the planet and save the Earth's climate change. ChooseVegan.com states by going vegetarian, we can reduce the impact of climate change, rainforest deforestation, and pollution while saving water and other precious resources. In fact, raising animals for food produces more greenhouse gas emissions than all the cars, planes, and other forms of transportation combined. Many are not aware of the destruction raising and consuming meat has for the environment. It is not something people want to acknowledge. For instance, I'm assuming not many of you knew this, but research says that to produce 1 pound of animal protein versus 1 pound of soy protein, it takes about 12 times as much land, 13 times as much fossil fuel, and 15 times as much water. The earth is our home, and protecting it is important. Vegetarianism is just one of the small ways people can save the earth. Since the times of the Greek, it has been a part of the world, and in the past 40 years, it has been a big part of our country. Vegetarianism is a common diet that many individuals have adapted to. It provides many benefits for the human body and for the environment. I hope that after hearing my speech, the common misconceptions about the vegetarian diet that you all may have heard are no longer concerned. The vegetarianism is a constant growing diet in our society and will continue to grow. In every large city in the United States, there are multiple restaurants today serving vegetarian food only. In the future, the vegetarian community is expected to rapidly grow, so I hope after hearing my speech, you are much more informed about this diet and the impact it has on our society. Thank you for listening.